Ladies and gentlemen, listen up. I know we live in a world where everybody wants everything right now. You want success overnight. You want love to come easy. You want your dreams to show up at your front door like Amazon Prime with next day delivery. But let me tell you something. Real success don't work like that. Good things, they take time. And if you can't be patient, you're going to miss out on something great just because you're in a hurry to settle for something quick. See, the problem is we live in a microwave generation. You want $1 million, but you don't want to put in the years of work. You want the perfect relationship, but you don't want to build trust. Go through ups and downs and put in the effort. You want your dream life, but the second it gets hard, you start questioning if it's even worth it. Let me tell you right now, it is. I need you to understand something. Every single blessing you're praying for is already lined up for you. But God, the universe, or whatever you believe in, ain't about to hand it to you until you're ready. See, preparation and patience go hand in hand. Think about an oak tree. You plant a little seed in the ground and nothing happens for a while. But deep under the soil, that seed is doing something. It's growing roots, getting strong, building a foundation. And then one day, boom, it breaks through the ground and grows into something mighty. Your dreams are just like that seed. If you dig it up too soon because you're impatient, you kill it before it even has a chance to grow. So be patient. Stay faithful. Keep working. Somebody in here needs to hear this. You are not running out of time. Just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it won't. Your journey is yours. Stop comparing it to somebody else's. You're not late. You're not behind. You're in progress. And when the time is right, oh boy, you better be ready, because that blessing is going to be bigger than you ever imagined. So stay patient, stay hungry, keep grinding, and when it finally happens, when that blessing finally shows up, you'll look back and say, it was worth the wait. God bless you. Everybody wants success, but nobody wants to wait for it. We live in a world where everything moves fast. You can order food and have it at your door in minutes. You can post a video and get thousands of views overnight. You can scroll through social media and see people flashing their success like it happened instantly. And because of all that, we've been tricked into thinking that if something doesn't happen fast, it's not working. But that's a lie. The truth is, success is a slow process, and the people who win are the ones who stay committed even when they don't see the results right away. Think about anything valuable in life. A diamond isn't made in a day. It takes pressure and years of transformation. A tree doesn't grow tall overnight. It spends years building strong roots underground before anybody even notices it's there. Even the strongest, fastest athletes don't wake up with their skills. They train for years, pushing through pain, doubt, and struggle before they ever taste victory. Success is no different. It takes time. And the reason so many people never reach it is because they give up too soon. People love to talk about success stories, but they don't always tell you about the struggle behind them and add to the struggle. You hear about the billionaire, but they don't tell you about the years they spent broke trying to make it work. You see the championship team holding the trophy, but they don't talk about the seasons they lost, the games that crushed them, or the nights they went home in tears. You see the artists winning awards, but you don't hear about the rejection letters, the unpaid gigs, and the moments they almost quit. Behind every success is a story of patience, endurance, and faith. Most people fail not because they aren't talented, not because they aren't smart, but because they aren't willing to wait. They plant the seed, but when they don't see the tree right away, they dig it up and move on to something else. They start working on their dream, but when it doesn't happen in a few months, they convince themselves it's not meant to be. They put in effort, but when they don't see the rewards instantly, they stop believing, and that's where they lose. Because success isn't just about what you do, it's about how long you're willing to do it before you see results. Patience is what separates winners from quitters. The people who make it to the top aren't necessarily the most talented, the smartest, or the luckiest. They're the ones who kept going when everyone else stopped. They're the ones who showed up every day, even when it felt like nothing was happening. They're the ones who kept believing when everybody else doubted them. The ones who were willing to put in the work when nobody was watching, when nobody was giving them credit. Success tests you before it rewards you. It wants to see if you're serious. It wants to see if you're really committed. It wants to see if you're willing to go through the process, even when it feels like nothing is working. And most people fail that test because they want the results without the waiting period. They want the rewards without the struggle. But that's not how it works. You don't get the blessing before you prove you're ready for it. You don't get the victory before you fight the battle. The process isn't meant to break you. It's meant to shape you into the kind of person who can handle the success you're asking for. Because the truth is, if you got everything you wanted right now, you wouldn't even be able to handle it. If you got the money without learning how to manage it, you'd lose it. If you got the dream job without the experience, you'd fail. If you got the spotlight before you were ready, you'd crumble under the pressure. That's why the waiting period is important. It's not punishment. It's preparation. Every delay, every setback, every time it feels like things aren't moving fast enough, it's all part of the process. It's teaching you discipline, patience, and resilience. It's giving you the skills, the mindset, and the strength you need to handle success when it finally comes. And when it does come, you'll be glad it took time, because you won't just have success, you'll be able to keep it. You'll be strong enough to handle it, wise enough to make the right moves, and grateful enough to appreciate it. Success isn't about speed, it's about endurance. It's about staying in the game long enough to win. It's about trusting the process even when it feels slow. It's about knowing that just because you don't see results yet doesn't mean they aren't coming. The people who win in life are the ones who understand this. They don't rush the process. They don't get discouraged when things take time. They stay focused, they keep working, and they never let impatience make them quit too soon. So if you're working on something right now and it feels like it's taking too long, don't stop. If you're chasing a dream and it's not happening as fast as you want, don't give up. If you're putting in effort and it feels like nothing is changing, keep going. Because good things take time. And the longer the wait, the bigger the blessing. Success isn't just about waiting. It's about what you do while you wait. Too many people think patience means sitting still, doing nothing, and hoping something good happens. But that's not patience. That's procrastination. Real patience is active. It's preparing for what you want before it even arrives. It's doing the work behind the scenes so that when your moment comes, you're ready for it. Opportunities don't wait for you to get ready. They show up, and if you're not prepared, they'll pass you by. The mistake most people make is thinking they'll start putting in the work once they see results. They say, I'll start practicing when I get the job, or I'll start studying when I know for sure I'll pass. They want a guarantee before they put in the effort. But that's not how it works. The opportunity comes after the preparation, not before. If you wait for the moment to get ready, you'll miss the moment. Look at athletes. They don't train only when there's a game. They train every day so that when game time comes, they don't have to panic. They just perform. Look at musicians. They don't pick up their instrument only when there's a concert. They practice for hours when nobody's watching so that when the stage lights come on, they don't have to think about playing, they just do it. Success is the same way. If you want to be great, you have to prepare for it before it happens. You have to act like it's already coming, like it's already yours, because when the door finally opens, you won't have time to get ready. You'll have to be ready. Preparation is what separates those who succeed from those who don't. Two people can have the same dream, the same goal, the same opportunity. but the one who's prepared will always win. You ever wonder why some people seem to take off the moment they get a chance? It's not luck. It's because they spent years getting ready for that one moment. They didn't just sit around waiting for something to happen. They were working, training, studying, practicing, so when the opportunity knocked, they could open the door with confidence instead of hesitation. But most people, they waste their waiting period. They complain, they get discouraged. They look at other people succeeding and start feeling sorry for themselves. They say, why isn't it happening for me? Instead of asking, what can I be doing right now to make sure I'm ready when it does? Every moment you spend waiting is a moment you could be preparing. Every second you spend doubting is a second you could be getting better. Every day you waste is a day you could have used to sharpen your skills. And when the moment comes, you'll either be ready or you'll regret that you weren't. Nobody sees the work you put in when nobody's watching, but that's what determines your success. The greatest people in the world didn't become great in front of an audience. They became great in the dark, in the quiet, when nobody was clapping for them, when nobody was paying attention. They were grinding when it wasn't fun, when it didn't feel rewarding, when they didn't see the results, because they knew something most people don't. Your success isn't built on the day you make it. It's built on all the days you didn't make it but kept going anyway. And the truth is, most people can't handle the success they're asking for. Everybody wants the money, but do they know how to manage it? Everybody wants the spotlight, but can they handle the pressure? Everybody wants the position, but do they have the discipline to maintain it? If you're not prepared, success will overwhelm you instead of bless you. That's why the waiting period isn't a punishment. It's a gift. It's giving you time to grow into the person you need to be. It's teaching you the skills, the patience, the resilience that you'll need to handle success when it finally comes. Most people don't fail because they didn't have the opportunity. They fail because when the opportunity came, they weren't ready for it. They spent their time waiting instead of working. They thought patience meant sitting back instead of stepping up. They let fear, doubt, and laziness keep them from preparing, and when the door opened, they weren't ready to walk through it. Don't let that be you. Whatever it is you're dreaming about, whatever it is you're hoping for, start preparing now. If you want to be an author, write every day, even if nobody is reading your work yet. If you want to be a speaker, practice your speeches, even if nobody is listening yet. If you want to be an entrepreneur, learn about business, study your industry, and develop your skills, even if you don't have a business yet. If you want to be successful in anything, start acting like it's already yours. Because the truth is, success doesn't come to the most talented or the most gifted. It comes to the most prepared. People love to say, if I just had the chance, I'd make the most of it. But would you? Or would you freeze up because you didn't prepare? Would you hesitate because you spent too much time waiting and not enough time working? Would you get overwhelmed because you never took the time to build the habits, the discipline, and the mindset that success requires? That's why preparation is everything. Because when your time comes, you won't have a second to get ready. You'll either be ready or you won't. So don't waste your waiting period. Don't sit back and hope for something to happen. Make sure you're ready for it when it does. Train for it like it's already coming. Practice like the opportunity is already on its way. Work like the success you want is already yours. Because the ones who make it aren't the ones who waited. They're the ones who prepared. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking they're behind in life. They look around and see other people succeeding, hitting milestones, making progress, and they start panicking. They think, I should be further along by now. They start comparing their journey to someone else's, and before they know it, they're doubting themselves, rushing decisions, and making moves out of fear instead of faith. But the truth is, you are exactly where you're supposed to be. Your timing is different from everybody else's because your journey is different from everybody else's. Comparison is dangerous because it makes you question yourself for no reason. You see someone your age with a successful business and now you feel like a failure. You see someone in a happy relationship and now you feel like you're doing something wrong. You see someone buying a house, getting promoted, traveling the world, and now you're frustrated with your own progress. But you don't know what's happening behind the scenes. You don't know what they had to go through to get there. You don't know if they're actually happy, if they cut corners, if they sacrifice things you wouldn't be willing to sacrifice. You only see the highlight reel, and you start thinking you're falling behind, when in reality, you're just running your own race. Timing is everything, and nothing good comes from rushing the process. People force relationships because they think they should be married by a certain age, and then they end up in something toxic. People chase careers that don't fulfill them because they think they should have a high-paying job by a certain time. People rush into business decisions without the right preparation and end up losing everything because they weren't patient enough to build a strong foundation. Every bad decision made out of fear and impatience leads to regret. The worst thing you can do is force something that isn't meant for you just because you're worried about keeping up with somebody else. The truth is, what's meant for you won't miss you, and what misses you was never meant for you. Your life is unfolding exactly as it should, and every delay, every detour, every moment of waiting is part of the plan. Sometimes things don't happen when you want them to because you're not ready yet. Sometimes doors don't open because there's something better coming. Sometimes you have to go through the slow seasons to build the strength, the wisdom, and the resilience you'll need for what's ahead. There's no such thing as wasted time when you're learning, growing, and becoming better. You have to stop believing that there's a deadline on your success. Life isn't a race. There's no rule that says you have to accomplish certain things by a certain age. Some people find their purpose at 20, and some don't find it until 50. Some people get married young, and some don't find love until later in life. Some people start businesses in their teens, and some don't start until they retire. Everybody moves at their own pace, and the only time you fail is when you let comparison and impatience push you into something you're not ready for. Think about nature. A flower doesn't bloom before it's ready. A tree doesn't grow faster just because another tree is growing faster. They both take their time, go through their seasons, and grow at their own pace. If a tree tried to rush its growth, it would collapse under its own weight because the roots wouldn't be strong enough to hold it up. The same thing happens to people. If you rush into success before you're ready, it won't last. If you try to force something before it's time, it will fall apart. You have to trust that your season is coming. Some of the most successful people in the world didn't see success early. Oprah got fired from one of her first jobs. Colonel Sanders didn't start KFC until he was in his 60s. Morgan Freeman didn't become famous until he was almost 50. Vera Wang didn't design her first dress until she was 40. These are people who could have given up, who could have thought it was too late, who could have let doubt and impatience stop them. But they trusted their journey, and because of that, they found success in their own time. Too many people quit because they think they're too late. They think if it hasn't happened by now, it's never going to happen. But what if you're just 1 year away from your breakthrough? What if you're just one more try away from success? What if everything you've been working for is right around the corner, but you give up because you think you should have had it by now? The people who succeed are the ones who refuse to quit just because it's taking longer than expected. They keep pushing, keep believing, and keep working even when they don't see results yet. The world will try to rush you. Social media will make you feel like you're not doing enough. Your friends and family might pressure you to move faster, but at the end of the day, you have to block out the noise and trust yourself. You have to remind yourself that just because somebody else got there first doesn't mean you won't get there too. Your success isn't based on anybody else's timeline. It's based on your own dedication, your own growth, and your own unique path. The waiting season is hard, but it's where the magic happens. It's where you learn who you are. It's where you build the discipline, the patience, and the strength that will keep you going once you get to where you're meant to be. If everything came easy, you wouldn't appreciate it. If you got everything you wanted right away, you wouldn't grow into the person you need to be to handle it. Every challenge, every delay, every obstacle is shaping you. So many people spend their whole lives chasing other people's timelines and never take the time to figure out what they actually want. They do things because they feel like they should, not because it's what's right for them. They chase goals that don't fulfill them. They rush into things that don't make them happy. And in the end, they realize that none of it was worth it because they weren't true to themselves. You have to define success for yourself. You have to decide what matters to you. You have to set your own goals based on what you truly want, not what society says you should want. Because at the end of the day, the only timeline that matters is your own. What's meant for you will come when the time is right. Your job is to stay ready, keep believing, and never let comparison make you doubt your own path.